Alright, so in this one we are going to be doing my final Dragon Ball Legends tier list before the next Legends Festival here does begin of 2025. It actually has been a bit of a shift right now because of the S tier boost that is going on. You can see here as just the candidates for the characters, there is a bit more options than just like who the typical guys are. So it is nice to see that there is a bit of a diversity that's going on. Again, S tier boost is really carrying that. So let's just get into it here. This list has 13 units, by the way, so it's a bit challenging to make it up to the top 10 because there is so many actual viable units right now, and some that you don't even think are that great actually are pretty solid. And maybe you should test them out if you have them, because they are part of the DB buffs that are going on right now in the S tier boost. So, and by the way, S tier boost does give 80% damage inflicted, 50% damage guard, so it is very noticeable when a character does have it, obviously. All arguable number 10. We always see this slot where it's like the 8 through 10, it's kind of finicky, it's kind of weird. The number 10 themselves fit that weird slot. With it being, in my opinion, Jackie Chun, Full Power Frieza, and the new manga Gohan. The new manga Gohan's in featured boost. World Tournament manga Goku, rather manga Goku's in featured boost. This Gohan's featured boost, and so is Kid Ku. So those three are featured. Every other modern Dragon Ball unit is in S, just for clairvoyance sake there. So they're not getting as much damage inflicted as, let's say, Roshi is, right? Jackie Chun. Jackie Chun is part of the anti-meta Dragon Ball team. The anti-meta Dragon Ball team would be alongside Kid Ku and Tambourine, and you could think about it very simply. How does that work? Well, Kid Ku versus CMZ. Kid Ku is usually type advantage. If not, CMZ goes a little bit neutral. Usually, though, Kid Ku maintains type advantage. Roshi is a type advantage to MZ, and obviously, MZ does not have offense neutral, though he is a very good unit. No offense neutral. This unit's on S tier boost. He's tanking a lot better. He has the stopping combo within the green card poppages that he has, and doing a free blue card. I personally, like yesterday, I used Jackie Chun and I one-shot MZs. I one-shot, I think, 4 MZs in a match. In matches. Jackie Chun did that. 100-0. He wasn't defense neutral. He couldn't proc it. I didn't hit him. Just 100-0 him. Jackie Chun can do that shit. He got it like that. And then Tambourine there, being the other character, being type advantage to Android 13. So again, the best team in the game all off is actually the Dragon Ball team. But the best team in the game is still most likely going to be that PO team, right? So Jackie Chun fits on that roster, has a good combo stoppage there. DB is kind of notorious to not have any combo stoppers in their own right. I guess the manga Gohan's the best thing they got, but like disruptions that end combos don't exist for this team. So Jackie Chun having the green card does it is very nice. The paralyze that he has on his ultimate, green card creations he make, Tambourine and Kid Ku love his green cards. They love green cards in their own right. Jackie Chun spawns green cards on his entries, as well as not terrible damage. Again, his big moves are what do the work, and it really is kind of just that middle foreground that exists to give you some levity of just, okay, MC's not going to ruin my day because this strong blue unit's existing. Is he the best blue? No. Is he only going to be good right now? Yes, but these Dragon Ball units never really had a time to be within a arguably even top 10 spot for most of them. So being able to say that here, I like it. I think he is the best of these three, so he's right there. And number 10, but I think any of these can swap to number 10. Full Power Frieza, I think, is pretty good. It's just that Frieza is going to be like Super Saiyan 3 Fast Goku, where that guy didn't really get, crept in the sense of utilities of like he's immune to everything. He still has the endurance null, blah, 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 infinite combo he can still do. He still do that, but his damage is subpar. Frieza's kind of getting to that setting. I'm not saying Frieza's bad damage fully, but like Frieza's not going to hurt MZ very much. Frieza's not going to hurt Kid Goku very much. Frieza's not going to hurt CMZ very much. That's already 3 units. Frieza's not really going to do too much damage to, despite the infinites that can occur and how good the combo potential is. No real team, not the greatest damage, just because the nature of it's been months since this unit released, and again, the S tier boost is really helping some of these characters as well. I just think that makes him fall flat a little bit. CMZ being so common still is obviously not going to help him. And again, no real team. Doesn't have a roster that's like 100%, yeah, I'm like that, I'm here. I don't see him anywhere on those teams. So that's where he goes in the arguable number 10 slot, as well as Manga Gohan. And just for our argument's sake and obvious sake, this top 10 is very much going to be different during Legends Fest. These manga units, this DB unit, whatever, at least 4 of these units that are on this arguable top 10 or, you know, in this top 10 will not, I guarantee you, will not be here come through the Part 1 of Legends Fest. Just, again, we're doing this because DB finally got some glaze, so why not glaze them with the tier list here. Manga Gohan, though, I'm not the biggest fan of him because he does make like those infinite blast cards, and I think, you know, Kidku has a 20k stat gap on strike. Tambourine has a very high strike stat. I think Jackie Chun's kind of even. But most of these units that are like the dominant DB units really want strike. So this guy making blast cards, given he's just going to spam them, I just don't personally like it as much. He definitely is good. He definitely can be surprising. He does support the most of any DB unit. Tambourine does do a bit of it as well, but Gohan does it the most. So he does have a spot on teams. I would probably prefer Frieza over Gohan, though, if I'm going to use any character. Is because I think that finite 3 of DB is just the best trio that you can run, and running anything to that would just be subpar. Frieza, I mean, I guess element-wise also better. There's 3 blues on this list. There's 1 purple. So I guess it's better for Frieza element-wise, but again, arguable spot. If anybody is more solidified than anybody else, it would be Roshi, or Jackie Chun, sorry, as number 10. Then the other 2 would just be, you know, the 11, 12 there. So that's going on here. Then we continue on to a higher placement of number 9, with it being Namek Goku. Namek Goku definitely isn't taking a hit individually, it's just units are getting better. Kid Goku got a plat, and guess what? DB's a very strong team right now, and guess what? He's going to be up there, he's going to be higher. So when you become the worst option, it's not even about how you are getting worse off as a unit. It is more so that, like, those others are just doing better things in the current era. And Namek Goku, obviously he has MZ to deal with. He has CMZ that just ignores his lock-in 2 times. He has Android 13 that is anti-Goku, given that hurts Kidku as well. But the anti-Goku thing on Namek Goku really gets the KO guard popped much faster because he does the sub-count manip thing. Android 13 does like 2 green cards because it feels like he has like infinite because MZ and CMZ. 2 green sub-counts up by like 5 or 6. And then from there you can just pop KO guard mad quick. With Kidku, if that happens to him, I mean, to be fair, it can happen to him, but you're not going to die as fast as Namek Goku does with Kidku. Kidku is meant for the bulk. He is on the bulkiest team in the game. Whether it be the best team, no, but it's the bulkiest team. That's what Dragon Ball was always intended to be, and that's what they're kind of, you know, still striving with. So Namek just goes down out of the circumstance of, well, circumstance. It's not his fault. He'll go up, he'll go down, rise and fall, etc., etc., and I don't know. He's not bad. Obviously, he's an Ultra. He's still very good. Both Ultras are still very good. It's just the necessity has kind of simmered down a little bit. You really don't need this guy on a team right now. And if you do, that just means you don't own the others, and the others are just better in their circumstance of their best individual settings, because it does go to individual at that point. And Puddle support, Kidku's defense, and, you know, glue that he creates, I think that's just more valuable right now. Then we move on to number 8, with it being Blue UI Goku. Give me 1 second here. Splendid. Blue UI Goku. This man is still cooking up. He is what we like to call the anti-meta man, because he is very anti-MZ. Given you can't just run UI in both CMZ and MZ together, most people would probably opt to run I've seen actually blue purple the most. They're 13 MUI CMZ. It's not a bad setup, but regardless, he does his great damage. The greens aren't really terrifying him. If anything, you let Android 13 die, or you let someone die, you let CMZ die. This guy goes neutral. He can one-shot fucking Tambourine, I'm sure, because then he's going neutral within that main ability poppage. So he's got good stuff for type disadvantage, for type advantage, for neutral. He's got good stuff flowing without him, as well as his disrupt is very pungent. That plus 10 card cost to everybody, not just the current opponent, everybody. Actually, I believe, is it the current opponent? It might be the current opponent, but regardless, his disrupt's still very good, and it does its job, and I think he just fits a finite role of being a good you know, an off unit that can deal with these UV4s, MZs, Manga Gohans, anything that can create a problem just for your yellow. He is a good handler of them. So, and he very much can win matches being UI and being a toxic piece of shit, because every UI Goku is a toxic piece of shit in this game. There's not one that is not. So good for him. Hate him. Don't like that he's here. I don't like UI Goku in this game, but he's there. And now I move to number 7, with it being the Puddleman, the Drowner of the Drowns. And yes, I do think Kid Goku is above the Puddleman. I'm happy for him, but we'll get into that after. With it being I think he just is fine. I mean, he's not doing this hyper offense until a little bit of time passes. You kind of get some rotations where it's like multiple swap-ins of him. And you can't do that with MZ and CMZ because the sub-cabinet that's offered there, even with 13. You run it sometimes with 13, Puddle, and MZ, and that's a super glazed team. And then here's MZ looking like God in every, circumstance of life. Or you run CMZ in that super glaze and does the same exact thing. You can always run those juice teams, and Puddle has diversity of team. But I don't think he's fitting a perfect team right now. Again, you're trying to run Puddle, well, you have to run into MZ and UE4, and that's just going to be problematic. Tambourine right now, because as a unit, is hitting numbers of like 400% damage inflicted, basically, when he enters the fight. 400% damage inflicted. Puddle is not going to defend that. Most units, the only unit that can defend that well is CMZ because type advantage, or MZ, and that's even being generous, saying MZ defends it very well. He defends it okay, like a normal unit. Not like the raid boss does, against MZ taking another MZ's hits. Feels like it's less damage than Tambourine, because Tambourine just keeps going and glazing himself with more support, blue card crazy. Guy's crazy with that. But the point to that is that if we're getting such high damage dealers, Puddle kind of is not lacking because of that, but he is going to get caught out by an op. Like, it is just, UV4 switch attack, MZ spam cards, Tambourine spam cards, Kid Goku spam cards. There's a lot of sequences where Puddle can just kind of get, thrown out there and just murdered. I mean, even UI Goku is a great answer to kill Puddle because you the blue card. CMZ is not canceling blue card buff effects. It's only ultimate and or rush. So you do a blue card with UI, you catch a little Puddle snipe, boom, he dead. That's going to hurt you a lot because then you're going to lose your CMZ inevitably. And then what happens there? It's all up to MZ to 1v3. Given he can, definitely got that dog in him, but Puddle did not help you 1v3 there. He's dying. And it sounds like I should put him lower, but again, his diversity is really what's helping him the most here, that he can be anywhere you want him to be. But it's just more so that, not his bulk per se, it's kind of the same thing as Namek Goku. It's just his support, it's what's giving him the more value over Namek, but both of them can be victimized by very strong offense damage dealers, and we do have a good number of those right now. So I like him more than Namek because of that support that he can give, that kind of rotation of the disrupt that he can offer and all these things, but I don't necessarily love him right now because he does have scary red units, and the red units are the damage dealers of the game right now, and those are the top tier damage dealers for red as well as even other colors right now. Because I'm looking here, Tambourine, Kidku, and both reds right there, Ultra and LF, those are the top damage dealers in the game. That's it, and that's a bit scary if you are a yellow unit, especially when you're not fully protected, because Android 13 is only protecting you so much, man. He is not tanking MZ. I'll tell you that. So that's where that goes. I actually do want to change this here. You know what? And we'll just keep it. 5-6, though. I think it's shared, and I do think, yeah, I know. Top 5 Tambourine. I know. I'll be all right. Don't worry about me. I do think it does go to a shared tier of Tambourine and Kidku, and I think this works out because they do want to run together and work together. I am glad to say that I finally have seen, not really the light of Kidku, because I kind of figured he was going to be good. Like, if they buff a unit that's not even a year old, you would goddamn hope they end up being the best of that element. Because why the fuck did we buff them if they're not going to be that? And I do think Kid Goku does make that there. Being above Puddle, that safety, the glue. How I perceive the DB team right now is, I think accurate. Maybe it's inaccurate, but how I perceive it's accurate to me. With it being, Kidku is like CMZ. He's offering that safety, still very good damage, but the main damage is somebody else. He's safety and good damage, right? Like a 7 out of 10 damage. Tambourine is god damage. That's the MZ of my team. DB right now is Temu PO. Simple as that. The god damage, he has some utilities. Obviously, he's got the Dragon Ball gain up chance. He does have the unsealing of his rush within his green card. He does have the amazing damage blue card, the vanish backs they could get. All those great things and necessities, and removing their Dragon Balls and all these great things. Even the sub-cabinet. He's the MZ of the DB team. And then Jackie Chun, being that, again, unit that just walls off MZ there, he's the Android 13 or your Puddle or your whatever at that point of the team. Because there's no designated support for this team. Tambourine does support, but there's no designated support. It's just everyone being as bulky as they are. and just taking hits well. Kid Goku is not an S tier because he's so bulky already. Kid Goku does bulk very well. Better than Puddle. I think Puddle bulks okay, but again, it's a bit scary for Puddle, right? So I think they all kind of mesh as more of a cohesive one than it is just like, okay, here's God number 2, and here's kind of the random third. But like, he's still very good. He's just not doing the God stuff of the other two, right? I think they all do very well of togetherness, but I do think it is more of a, all for one type of team instead of, okay, here's individualistic carrying from MZ or CMZ, then 13 is just kind of like supplementing them. No one's supplementing anybody here. Everyone's doing their part and doing it to like a more finite role. So I think Tambourine does fit number 5 there. That damage he does, again, I've been plowing through units like it's nobody's business. It's insane, the shit I see from Tambourine. He definitely did not need S tier boost. Again, I think he's the best DB unit in the game right now. I think Kid Goku does amplify him. Again, this is as simple as it is, with MZ being the unit that does not have safety. MZ is not safe, so you always run MZ with a Puddle, a 13, a CMZ. You're always running MZ with a safety. Well, Tambourine would be the same thing. You run Tambourine with Kid Goku. You can run him with Puddle, sure, why not? Who's going to stop you? You can run with Namek, sure, why not? Who's going to stop you? You're always going to run your main damage that's not safe with a safety, so they become safe. It's common sense. So if Tambourine has that safety, I think that just makes him better because Kid Goku is supplementing that, which helps Tambourine, which buffs Kid Goku's value, but I do think the damage dealing is what matters most right now. Units are healing a bunch, so if we can cook them fast and murder them quick, I've seen Tambourine just end up destroying Manga Gohans. I've seen him destroy Puddles, destroy Namek Goku, destroy literally everybody on this list. Everybody on this list, not even placed yet or placed, I've seen him destroy. Even CMZs. I've seen this guy do like 60% in a combo against CMZ. I'm just like, the hell's going on? He doesn't go neutral unless you pop, I believe, a green card. So, I mean, and he's doing that, like bro's him. Like, bro is just him. Again, the fall off will be unfortunate. S tier boost will remove this when it does fall off. But for now, Tambo got that dog in him. Kid Goku supplements him very well, and I like where the placement is for him. Again, I know, top 5 Tambourine sounds like a meme, but if you're doing the damage, what the fuck else can I do? Just fucking downplay you? No, that'd just be silly. Then we go to the top 4, and unfortunately, you can see that they haven't changed. I'm actually just gonna place them quickly because there's no point to not to just, drag this out and be like, oh my god, who's gonna? We all know who's gonna make it, bro. It all doesn't change. With it being number 4 being UB4. Still very dominant, still very well off. Nothing really goes against him here. I mean, Jackie Chun being good doesn't really make any difference to UB4 because you switch attack and then boom, boom, boom. You're gonna end up destroying them. You can run UB4 or Frieza, so if you want an off color to save him, no one stop you from doing that. So UB4, again, in my opinion, he is the best individual unit in the game right now. But what really goes to impact him is same thing as Frieza. Frieza gets really hurt by the no full I had this team, and it's meant for me. UB4 doesn't have that. GT isn't that. Bomb Ku is subpar. GT3 Ku is fucking a Tambourine victim. Like, it's terrible. So, I assume we're getting an Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku that's going to come for a festival. And if that does happen, UB4 would get buffed. But until then, I don't see him going anywhere crazy down. He will have to go down, but he will still probably make top 10. Then once the Ultra drops, and let's say it is a buff to him, boom, he shoots back up to top 5, right? So it is right there. Android 13 being the supplementation for a lot of units here. You want to run 13 Kid Goku Tambourine. You want to run 13 with his 2 MZ buddies up there. You want to run 13 and UI and then Namek Goku. You can run 13 anywhere. 13 is just a better Puddle. That's just the simplest way to put it. I mean, it makes sense. One's a Zenkai LF, one's a new LF. They want you to have the new LF. The Zenkai LF is still a good replacement, but the new LF is the better, but the Zenkai LF is a good replacement. So that's just where that goes for him. As well as CMZ and MZ. I think I had MZ number 1. Maybe I didn't, but obviously now I think so. It's the same perspective as with Tambourine there, because if you have a safety with your main damage dealer, your main everything character, because he is just an everything character MZ, then you can, in my eyes, validate that number 1 placement. It's kind of like Daima 4 Ku to Majin Ku is a number 1-2 thing for most people. And if Majin Ku had, let's say 50% more damage inflicted, you could have probably said that Majin Ku was just outright number 1. Most people would have said Daima 4 Ku was, but you could have said Majin Ku was if there was just a bit more damage inflicted. because he had the support, he had the gimmicks, he had the, you know, safety roles, he had the sub-count manip, he had the destroy hand, the utilities, everything. But because damage was a little bit subpar, it was Namek Goku within the glue that he created, as well as the damage inflicted that he could do. But with this, the glue that MZ creates alongside CMZ and having glue within, you know, whether it be Android 13, Puddle, Namek, whoever the fuck, Kid Goku, there's so many just, okay, I got you, I'm safe. You know, they try to rush with Kid Goku on the team there. There's lowering sub count by 8. Kid Goku will never not get rushed. It just always will happen. They try to rush with CMZ on the team. Okay, well, here's the fucking gauge, right? What are we going to do? Or we have our revival here, or we have KO guard, or we have Puddle. There's a million ways to keep your offense unit safe in this game. And again, that's why the offense units for me on their core teams here of Tambourine on his core team, MZ on his core team, are at the top tiers, even above the safety units. Because if you got MZ above CMZ, you most likely would think Tambourine's above Kid Goku. It's kind of the same boat for me. So, again, I make that comparison earlier, but I think it's the most accurate way to compare. But MZ stays at the top. CMZ helps him out and gives him that levity to do his due diligence there. But this is my top 10. And also, yes, you could just run MUI, Kid Goku, and Tambourine as a trio instead of Jackie Chun. Yeah, no, you're right. That's why MUI is above him. You still could run that. But Jackie Chun gives the full DB, the full access. It's nothing crazy, but it is there. So yeah, it's up to your discretion at that point. But my top 10 does conclude with LF Merged Zamasu being number 1, Ultra CMZ being number 2, Android 13 LF being number 3, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta number 4, Tambourine number 5, and Kid Goku number 6, Legends Limited, Puddle, Legends Limited number 7, MUI, Legends Limited number 8, Namek Goku Ultra number 9, and all arguable number 10 being a Jackie Chun, Ultra Full Power Frieza, and the Manga Gohan. What do you guys think of my top 10 list? See you guys in the next one.